Extra, extra, read all about it!
Since the days of newsboys shouting headlines from street corners, Mike Pate's family has been in the newspaper business.
Born and raised in Oklahoma to a family of newspaper people. I'm the fourth generation of my family in the newspaper business.
And for 43 years, Pate carried on the family legacy, ending his career in the city of his alma mater.
So in 1997, I came to Tallahassee as publisher of the Tallahassee Democrat and finished my career here with the Democrat in 2005 when the paper was sold to Gannett, and then retired from the newspaper business in 2006.
Mike Pate was raised with a newspaper in his hands.
Yeah, my first job in the newspaper business, I was 6 years old, and my grandfather paid me 35 cents an hour to sweep out the back shop at the newspaper.
The thin paper and black ink hold an almost spiritual quality for him.
I loved that tactile experience of feeling the newspaper, of hearing the paper rattle, of smelling the ink, of seeing the print, seeing the ink on paper.
But he says a paper's real value lies not in its form, but in its function.
My belief is that you have to have a news product that represents the community that you live in.
And the community where he retired is the same place he began. Graduating with a degree in business administration in 1968 from Florida State's College of Business, Mike took a part-time job in advertising sales at the Democrat.
It was about 43 years ago when I started working at the Tallahassee Democrat, and that's where we are right now. My office, when I first started working here, was all the way back in the back. And then after 37 years, I moved from the back of the office all the way up to the front, which is the publisher's office, which is where we're walking into now. As it turns out, I ended up beginning to move up the ladder at the newspaper very quickly and realized that I really loved the business.
He continued on in sales, working in Miami and Biloxi, Mississippi. Then in 1979, the Myrtle Beach Sun called upon Mike Pate to lead it toward brighter horizons as publisher.
You know, that was where I really had to start learning because as I look back at it, I was too young to be a publisher.
It was sink or swim, but in the end, he made waves in the industry.
This is a collection of some of the highlights from my career that I thought I'd share with you. This one is one that I'm maybe most proud of. It's the Alva Chapman Award we gave these.
Knight Ritter's Alva Chapman Award recognizes the newspaper with the year's highest overall ranking for business achievement.
We're the only newspaper ever to win it 4 times, and the only newspaper ever to win it 3 times in a row for business performance. So we were very pleased with that.
For a time, the Sun was the fastest growing newspaper in the nation.
As I look back at it from a standpoint of my education from the College of Business at Florida State was the perfect set of classes for me to take to prepare to become the newspaper publisher that I wanted to become.
And that means being dedicated to serving the community, especially when it's most in need.
Hurricane Hugo came in 1989 and basically destroyed the first 2 rows of the beachfront in Myrtle Beach. That was that whole community's life.
The people of Myrtle Beach were at a loss and in need of vital information. With no power to run the presses, Pate had the paper printed in Columbia, South Carolina, and shipped to the coast. And before the water could recede, he was leading a team in an effort to restore the beachside community.
By the summer of the next year, we were back to normal numbers because of the work that we did. And that was really a special time.
Hugo, the 2000 presidential election, September 11th, Mike Pate's career is intertwined with our nation's history. Of course, it wasn't all trials and tragedy. He made sure to have a little fun, too.
This is one of my favorites, much happier time. This was the front page that we handed out in the Sugar Bowl on the night that the Seminoles won the national championship in 1999. Well, needless to say, the front page of the Tallahassee Democrat with Noles' win on it was broadcast nationwide, so we got wonderful publicity from it and had a wonderful time doing it, too.
And it all sounds straight out of the horoscope section when you hear about Mike Pate's original career plans.
This is the College of Music. It actually used to be the School of Music when I was here, and this is where I started my career at FSU. At that time, I wanted to be a band director. I really thought that that was my life's calling.
And then, as always it seems, a beautiful young lady marched into his life and set him on the path toward destiny.
I'd met my wife Judy, and I knew that I couldn't afford her and the lifestyle that she wanted to become accustomed to on a teacher's salary. I was doomed to be a newspaperman. I mean, there's just no other way around it. I mean,
But he's made sure to keep in touch with his roots. He formed and performs with the FSU Alumni Marching Band and has served as a trustee for the FSU Foundation. The Alumni Association saw fit to honor him with their Circle of Gold and Grad Made Good awards, and Pate even gave the commencement address at a Florida State graduation. Outside of campus, he has led a wide variety of community initiatives as program director of the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, and today he heads up Town and Gown, Tallahassee. And of course, he spends as much time as he can with the next generation of Pates, his son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughters, always ready to have a little fun. In case you hadn't figured it out already, he's committed to our community, till death do him part, and then some.
Judy and I own burial plots in Tallahassee. So we are here not only for the short term, we're here for the long term as well. So it's sort of an easy decision for us. It's home.